Hi, I'm Peter Adams. I'm Executive Director at Rockies Venture Club. We're here at the Angel Capital Summit. Angel Capital Summit is not just about the pitches and the investments. It's also about education and learning. Every year we've got another theme. Last year we talked about how companies create value. This year it's about how Colorado companies scale up and grow big. Maybe one of the most interesting panels had to do with the tipping point. And what we mean by the tipping point is, what is it that makes a company really get out of obscurity and to the point where it's really growing fast? A lot of companies get stuck, they hit their mark, they hit the $5 million mark, the $10 million mark, and they just stop there. The real fast growth companies hit the tipping point and then they just keep on going. They've got their sights set on bigness and they know what to do.
The key is to finding a repetitive, predictable sales model that works over and over again. And what naturally happens is once you get that sales model proven and in place, you start to see revenue climb, and then you double down on that sales model and you see revenue climb some more, and double down again and see it climb some more.
Getting to that tipping point is really about turning sales and marketing in particular from an art, something that's mostly an art, into something that's mostly a science. In order for it to scale and accelerate, which is what gets you past a tipping point where you see your customer acquisition costs are going down and your lifetime value of your customers are going up. When those two dynamics are happening, that's what starts accelerating you towards the tipping point and eventually past the tipping point. It is all about numbers. Even if you have those external factors, the way you can tell if you're there is by looking at the numbers.
Make sure what you bring to the customer is something that's going to solve a problem for them. Very few businesses succeed, selling ice cream to Eskimos, right? It's about solving a real problem, and making sure you're tuning your value prop to your customers is critical to scaling your business. Building your business, assuming your competitors will fail, is not a good strategy.
Capital is the fuel that enables you to do the experimentation and actually enables you to have the luxury of getting things wrong, because that costs money. If you don't have a pot of money invested in your company, then you are forced to live hand to mouth and to do whatever you can do to bring in revenue to keep the lights on. And so the ability to be more forward-looking and more thoughtful about the things that you're going to try in marketing and sales as well as with product, to do those things that actually can enable your company to hit the tipping point become impossible. And that's why companies that are purely bootstrapped, there certainly are companies that can hit the tipping point, but typically it takes much longer and it's much more challenging to get to that point with a business that doesn't have capital.
So right now I'm the CEO, CFO, sales, marketing. I do everything except for the CTO. I have a brilliant CTO. So I see that I will eventually hire people far better than myself into those roles. What happens to me? What do I do after I've hired myself out of every single one of those roles?
Yeah, you need to figure that out yourself. You need to really understand. The question to ask yourself is, what's your biggest benefit to the business?